For centuries, explorers, farmers, and archaeologists have stumbled upon artifacts scattered across the American continent that defy explanation. These items, often made of metal, stone, or ceramic, don't neatly fit into any known cultural, technological, or historical framework. They're sometimes dismissed as hoaxes, outliers, or misinterpretations, but for others, they hint at a much more complex past, one in which unknown peoples or even lost civilizations once thrived in the Americas long before written history. These are the strange, unclassified artifacts of ancient America. Let's begin with a mystery buried in the sands of Oklahoma. In the late 1960s, workers near the town of Heavener discovered a massive stone slab carved with a runic inscription. Known as the Heavener Runestone, it bears characters strikingly similar to Old Norse. Scholars have debated its authenticity for decades. Was it carved by Norse explorers who arrived long before Columbus? Or is it a modern creation, misinterpreted as ancient? Despite mainstream rejection, similar stones have surfaced in other parts of the Midwest, some with even more elaborate inscriptions. These artifacts challenge the accepted timeline of contact between Europe and the Americas and suggest that America's prehistory might be far more interconnected than we assume. Then there's the case of the Dorchester Pot. In 1851, blasting rock at Meeting House Hill in Dorchester, Massachusetts, unearthed a strange bell-shaped metal vessel split in two. It was reportedly made from an alloy resembling zinc and silver, with floral patterns inlaid on its surface. The catch? It was found embedded in solid rock, estimated to be over 500 million years old. That timeline makes no sense by any conventional historical standard. Some dismissed it as a hoax or a misidentified relic, but no similar object has ever been found, and no full explanation has ever surfaced. Where did this ornate metallic object come from? And how did it end up inside primordial rock? Another enigma lies beneath the fields of Iowa. Farmers have long uncovered small figurines, some humanoid, others monstrous, that don't match any known native style. Some display odd proportions, elongated heads, or strange hybrid features. Known informally as the Iowa Mystery Figurines, these artifacts have never been fully catalogued, and mainstream archaeologists rarely address them. Some speculate they could be totems, relics of forgotten cults, or even prehistoric attempts at storytelling. Others believe they may represent something far more arcane, visitors, deities, or beings from another realm of reality. In 1944, a bizarre object surfaced near the banks of the Ohio River. A disc-shaped piece of pottery with embedded metal rods and a magnetized core. It was dubbed the Zanesville Object and has puzzled researchers ever since. It doesn't resemble anything from any known Native American tradition. The composition is unusual, its function unknown. Some speculated it was an early experiment in magnetism, or even some kind of prehistoric compass. But it's never been replicated, and no similar objects have been reported. Was it a singular invention, one that predated modern science by centuries, or the last surviving remnant of a forgotten age? Next, we travel to Arizona. In the Grand Canyon region, stories have circulated since the early 20th century about a mysterious cave supposedly filled with strange artifacts, mummies, metallic tools, statues with Eastern features, and even hieroglyphic-like inscriptions on the walls. The story gained traction after an article was published in the Arizona Gazette in 1909, referencing a discovery by a man named G.E. Kincaid. The Smithsonian, reportedly involved in the investigation, has long denied any involvement or evidence of such a find. No physical artifacts have been presented, and no cave matching the description has ever been publicly verified. Yet the legend persists, and some believe the truth was buried to prevent upheaval in the established historical narrative. In the Mississippi Valley, amateur archaeologists and metal detectorists have found curious items buried beneath Hopewell and Adena mounds, metallic plaques, strange-shaped tools, even engraved discs that seem to carry unknown symbology. While some have been dismissed as intrusive modern objects, others were sealed deep within undisturbed layers of ancient mounds. Their presence raises the question: were these early mound-building cultures more technologically advanced than we understand, or were they inheriting relics from an even older, unknown civilization? Perhaps one of the most intriguing discoveries comes from a cave in Illinois, Burrows Cave. Discovered in the 1980s by Russell Burrows, the site allegedly yielded hundreds of carved stones with inscriptions, faces, and depictions of elephants, warriors, and scripts resembling Phoenician, Greek, and Egyptian. Mainstream archaeology labels the site a hoax, but to this day, many of the artifacts remain unexamined by institutions, and the cave's exact location is kept secret. Whether fraudulent or authentic, the Burrows Cave relics have ignited a lasting debate on what we choose to accept as evidence, and how much ancient history remains hidden in plain sight. Finally, we look to the skies, literally. Across the deserts of Peru, we find the famous Nazca lines, but lesser known are their northern cousins in the American Southwest. Massive geoglyphs, large-scale ground drawings visible only from above. Found in the Colorado River region and parts of the Mojave Desert, these massive artworks depict humanoid figures, spirals, and animals. How and why they were made remains unclear, but some have suggested they served as markers for aerial navigation or perhaps even messages to the gods above. Who were these ancient artists crafting messages that only the sky could read? So what does this all mean? Are these anomalies just coincidence, fraud, and misinterpretation, or are they the scattered remnants of a forgotten chapter in human history? One where ancient Americans held technologies, beliefs, and knowledge we're only beginning to rediscover. If even one of these artifacts is authentic and unexplained, then everything we thought we knew about the past may need rewriting. In the end, the unclassified artifacts of ancient America stand as silent witnesses, mute, mysterious, and defiant. They remind us that history is not a finished story, but a living puzzle still waiting to be solved. The truth may lie buried beneath our feet, hidden in caves or resting in dusty museum drawers. And all it takes to uncover it is to keep asking the forbidden question: what if?